There it is. Asana breakdown. Okay. Hi, hello. My name is Jordan. Welcome back to another Asana breakdown. Today we're going to be going over our Sun Salutation A, our Surya Namaskar A, which can be translated to mean Surya, sun, Namaskar, greeting. So your sun greeting to warm up the body. Today we're going to be going over a couple of different ways to make your Sun A little bit more accessible, maybe some options. Usually it includes a prone or lying on the abdomen, back bend, but that can also be done in tabletop. It's a sequence you might find after a seated and or reclined warm-up and just getting used to moving with the breath. It includes some shapes that we've already been over, our downward dog, mountain pose, forward fold, halfway lift, and we'll be introducing Chaturanga Dandasana, our four-limbed staff pose, with an option always to do that on your knees. And it also includes our cobra, which we touched on briefly during our seal breakdown. So if there's any of these shapes that you want to go more in depth in, feel free to check out the Asana breakdown playlist on this channel. I don't know how people do this seamlessly and they don't lose their breath. I physically feel like I can't breathe when I do these. I don't know if that's normal. Maybe I should go to a doctor. Or maybe let's check out our Sun Salutation A. I like that option better. But always go to a doctor if you feel unwell. Don't listen to me. So, oh wow, I haven't moved around at all today. This actually feels really good. I'm gonna just be here. Yeah. Okay, Sun A, baby. Oh, so starting in our tall, beautiful mountain pose, feet hips width or flush together, whatever feels more stable to you. I ride both sides of the fence. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Sometimes I'm flush together. Sometimes I'm taking a nice wide stance. All right, depends on the day. Depends on my mood, the phase of the moon, what have you. So we're here in our tall, beautiful mountain pose. And I would encourage you to see what it feels like in your mountain pose like this. Just hanging out. I don't know if just hanging out in your joints. Just take a moment, hanging out in your joints. And then see how it feels to take a deep breath in and allow that breath to travel up through the soles of the feet, up through the spine, like there's a long line from crown to tail, just holding you up, maybe broaden through the collarbone, shine the palms forward. Take a moment to lift the toes and feel the difference. And try to carry this root to rise, this foundation from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head throughout your sequence as you move with the breath. Be kind to your joints, is what I'm saying. Also, it feels good. So we're here in our mountain pose. We'll inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Feel the torso grow long. And on the exhale, maybe you'd like to bring the palms together. Maybe you'd like to open through the chest, find a nice swan dive down, moving slow here, bending the knees, hinging at the hips, maybe sit the bum back just a bit and fold all the way down. And all the way down, that's going to be different for everybody. All the way down doesn't mean my palms are planted on the earth. Maybe all the way down means I have a really generous bend in my knees and my arms are still dangling. Maybe, hear me out, I have a couple blocks here to catch me, all right? And we're here in our forward fold. Maybe take a moment, shake out the head gently, getting into the cervical spine. And this bend in the knees, this will help support the low back. All right. And when we bend our knees and we get that low back support, that length, then maybe we begin to lengthen through the backs of the legs, mindful not to lock the knees. And we're here in a forward fold. Okay? Oh, shit. Whatever, depth feels most supportive to you today. That's your forward fold. And on an inhale, we can lift halfway. Maybe you like to have fingerprints on the mat. People who do yoga with their hair down are magical beings. Okay, I'm just going to say that. Maybe we have fingertips on the mat, lifting from the rib cage, almost like you want to bring your heart to the back of your spine. Wow, that's a weird thing to say. I get it now. All the memes about what yoga teachers say. Okay, give me a minute. Maybe you have fingertips on the mat, and maybe you want to gaze forward slightly. For me, I don't really like that. I like to feel the clarity along my spine, if that makes sense. Wow, all the stereotypes are coming out today, fam. All right, maybe you want to gaze down. Maybe you use your inhale to slide the palms up the legs to the tops of the shins, roll the shoulders back, maybe bring a slight tuck of the chin. Again, knees not locked, a little bit of core engagement. Maybe we slide all the way up to the tops of the thighs, little grasshopper leg elbows. And breathe deeply into the back body. Lift the rib cage, lift the heart. And exhale, fold. Again, finding that dip of the bum bones and a bend in the knees. And then maybe we begin to lengthen to the back of the legs. All right. And we'll plant the palms either on the earth or on blocks. Step, hop, dance, tiptoe through the tulips. However you want to get back to your plank shape, do it. And we're in our plank, all right? Maybe we lower the knees. Ooh, that feels really nice today because I'm tired. Tired of what? Everything. Tired of everything. And we bring our tabletop foundation into our plank shape a little bit. So if you remember finding that Hasta Bandha, pressing through all 10 fingertips, almost like you're protecting a tiny flower in the palm of your hand, cupping it, all right? And spinning the elbow creases to look forward, all right? Either with knees down or maybe knees are up. Wherever you are, core is engaged, okay? And for your chaturanga, maybe you shift forward onto the tippy toes. Holy shit. Okay, I'm really tired and I'm not warmed up at all. But here we are, all right? And I'm actually gonna slide my palms back just a bit. All right, so we shift forward and then bend the elbows back. And lower all the way down because I'm not doing upward dog today. And lower all the way down the abdomen. All right, with your exhale, using that Hasta Bandha to protect your wrists. And from here, we can find our Bhujangasana, our cobra pose. Using, oh no, I have another burp. Okay. Nope, false alarm. Wait, something's going on down there. All right. Using your inhale to inflate the lungs, obviously, but use this inflation of the lungs to lift the torso slightly. Lift the heart slightly. Find extension through the back of the crown, almost like you're crowned. Find extension through the crown, all right? Almost like your elbows and the crown of your head are moving in opposite directions, while simultaneously rooting down through the tops of the feet and the pubic bone, engaging the core. Maybe lift a little higher. Maybe pin the elbows back, find those little grasshopper leg elbows, and hover the palms, because as we went over in our prone back bend series, snakes don't fucking have hands. And then we lower. Awesome. I loved that. Tuck the toes. Press up to your plank or your half plank, okay? And then from your plank, maybe you shift forward onto the tippy toes, send the hips up to the sky. Option always to keep generous bend in the knees and make your way to your downward dog. Maybe from your half plank, you have the toes tucked, you send the hips towards the heels, then tail tilts towards the sky, heels melt towards the earth, downward dog. Wrap the elbow creases to look forward. Maybe spiral the thighs inward towards the sky. Bring a tiny bend to the knees, all right, with the heels lifted. And then maintaining this engagement, you slowly lower the heels towards the earth as you hug the low ribs in. And then we inhale, come up high on the tippy toes, crisscross, walk, hop, dance. Again, maybe you take a little tiptoe through the tulips all the way to the top of your space. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, forward fold. Look at us. And then root to rise, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, Anjali Mudra, hands at the heart, or Samastiti, okay? Wow, that was a lot, all right? Jesus, oh my God, this is leaving. This is what's happening right now. Yes. I am not a magical being. I'm just a girl. Also, just want to throw it out there. Nipples are gender neutral. Nipples are a gender neutral body part, all right? Lots of people have nipples. And guess what? They walk around and it's totally fine. So let's see that one more time, breath to movement. Feel free to practice along with me. I would love that, honestly. That's kind of how I make these. So here we are. Strong, beautiful mountain. See what it's like to create that foundation. Take a deep breath in. Sweep the breath from the bottoms of the feet to the crown of the head. Exhale, root down. Inhale, high mountain or volcano pose. Sweeping the biceps up by the ears, maybe turning the pinky slightly in. Plug the shoulders in. Exhale, hinge, bend the knees, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms, step one foot back and then the other. Find your plank, knees up or down. On your inhale, you shift forward onto the tippy toes if you're in your high plank. Exhale, pin the elbows back like little grasshopper legs, lower all the way to the abdomen. Inhale, inflate. Raise the heart, extend through the crown, root down through the low body, Bhujangasana Cobra, maybe hover the palms. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, take a deep breath in, press up to plank or half plank. And on your exhale, hips up high, downward dog. Inhale, come up high on the tippy toes. Exhale, hop, step, jump. However the fuck you want to get there, make your way to a forward fold. I love that. And on your inhale, root to rise. Sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, hands at the heart. Anjali Mudra. And that, my friends, is your Surya Namaskar A. All right? Let's talk about making that accessible and do one with upward dog. And anytime, if you're in a general public class, all right, and your teacher says, take a vinyasa, find your flow, essentially, that's what your teacher means. To find a prone back bend, to find a combination of breath and movements to clear the palate, to cleanse the palate, to clear the slate before moving on to the other side of an asymmetrical flow or, moving on to another block in the sequence, something like that. It's a palate cleanser, if you will. And always, you can skip it. You don't have to do it, all right? So we're here in our tall, beautiful mountain. Before we hop on over to making things, adding in some options and options, let's take a look at upward dog briefly, all right? Because I've been doing yoga for a while. Doesn't mean I'm good at it, all right? I also used to do some of the things I'm about to show you. But I've also seen some of these things. And it hurts me. It hurts me when I see it. Because I feel like it hurts you when you do it. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Maintaining that bend, sit back, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Exhale, plant the palms. Maybe this time we find a little buoyancy, okay? And common misconception is chaturanga is a transition. It's not. Chaturanga Dandasana is a pose. So maybe we take a deep breath in, exhale, hop back to chaturanga, and we end up there. Maybe, okay? Maybe you lower. And on an inhale, press up, roll onto the tops of the feet, press into the tops of the feet to maintain that integrity in the low back. And lift from the heart. Take a deep breath in, and we're not here. Okay, what the fuck is this? All right, if you want to gaze up at the ceiling, I love that for you. For me, no thank you. And we're here. Upward facing dog, knees and thighs lifted off the mat. Exhale, option to roll over the toes or tuck the toes or make your way through tabletop. Downward dog. Inhale, come up high on the tippy toes. Exhale, make your way to the top into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Just kidding. Inhale, root to rise, mountain pose. And traditionally, okay, it's downward dog to halfway lift. For me, I don't know, man. I don't know if I've ever done that, and I don't know if I want to. But let's try it. Fuck it. Traditionally, when you look up your Sun Salutation A, it's inhale, shift up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, bend, look forward. And use your exhale, use that core engagement, that bounce to find your halfway lift at the top of your space. For me, my body feels better if I fold. And then we inhale, root to rise. Sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale. And we're here. Now let's take a look at some ways to make that more accessible, okay? Lots of options. So we're here in our tall, beautiful mountain. Perhaps, all right, we want to take some blocks and have them at the back of our space, framing the back of our mat, about where your hands would be for your downward dog. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead, high mountain. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Okay. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good. And plant the palms. Step one foot back. And then the other lower with the knees lowered. Okay. And on your exhale, you lower all the way to the abdomen. Slide the palms forward. Inhale, Sphinx. Exhale, lower. And maybe I should tell you what the fuck Sphinx is. So elbows under the shoulders, pressing into the palms and the forearms. Again, finding that root through the tops of the feet to protect your lumbar spine, engaging the core, finding extension, and then maybe a gentle bend in the thoracic spine. Lift the heart, expand through the collarbone, take a deep breath in, and exhale, lower. Tuck the toes, press through tabletop, sink the hips towards the heels, lift up high, downward dog. And maybe our downward dog looks like this, and we have our hands on blocks. All right, and a generous bend in the knees and the heels lifted. And we're here. All right. And then you make your way to the top and find your flow once more. The last one I'll go over, okay, before I jettison into the universe, is from your mountain. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step one foot back, lower the knee. Next foot back, lower the knee. Tabletop, okay? And just as valuable of an option as all the other options. Inhale, drop the navel, lift the gaze, cow. Exhale, chin to chest, arch the spine, cat. And then tuck the toes. Inhale, sink the hips towards the heels, cow. This is just my favorite way to move from tabletop to downward dog. Exhale, downward dog, Tilt the tail towards the sky as you wrap the elbow creases to look forward, keeping the generous bend in the knees, melting the torso towards the tops of the thighs, and then maybe engaging the backs of the legs, spiraling the inner thighs towards the sky, and then melting the heels towards the earth. And then inhale, come up high on the tippy toes with soft knees, walk your way forward, find your halfway lift, and exhale, fold. And inhale, high mountain, exhale, Samastiti. And there it is, all right? That is your Surya Namaskar A, your sun salutation, your sun greeting. I feel warm, okay? It is a great way to just filter out, to cleanse the palate, all right, if you will. And with that, Jesus, I'm sweating, bro. I got another sunburn yesterday, but I'm here, all right? With that, I will jettison off into the universe. I will leave you in body, but not in spirit. Thank you so much for taking the time to view this video today. I hope you learned something. If you have any other modifications for your sun salutation that you'd like to leave in the comments, please let me know, because I love finding out different ways to make my own classes and my own practice more accessible, because, you know, our bodies change day to day. It's minute to minute here in this house. Okay. And that's it. That's it. That's all I got. That's literally all I got. Namaste. You took a massive dump, bro. It's stinky. I can smell it.